find yourself waking up at the same time in the middle of the night, or maybe various nights where you just notice, like, huh, why is this time always the same when I wake up, just instinctually? Now, I know it can be very, or more common to hear in the spiritual community that looking at the clock and it being 1111 or 111 or 333 or all those angel numbers have that spiritual meaning behind it. But even the random numbers mean something if you're seeing it consistently. So maybe you wake up one night and you look at the clock and it's something random like 437. And you're thinking like, oh, that's not really an angel number. But then the next night you wake up again and it's 437. You're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then a couple nights in a row, you're always waking up at that exact moment. Well, there is a key message behind that. And next time that happens, I, just encourage you to take a note of what time it is, because waking up at that time, there's a reason behind it. And there are specific indicators to watch out for, not only emotional or spiritual messages, but in a more physical and emotional sense, trying to tell you something. So, breaking it down a little bit more with other examples, our mind and body are always trying to send us signals when something is off, right? So, for example, we see this all the time when maybe your heart starts racing when you're in a potentially dangerous situation, and then that fight or flight or freeze instinct kicks in. Or maybe just the energy of someone rubs you the wrong way and you start feeling like uncomfortable, or, your body is always trying to tell you something. So in learning how to first quiet all the noise around us and be able to recognize these subtle hints, you'll be able to address the situation before it spirals or becomes worse. So this is in the case of just normal everyday, noticing what your body is trying to tell you at any given moment. When it comes to waking up at certain times, this is actually related to our own body clock and the school of thought that certain organs have a specific time. It shows how energy is moving through these certain organs at those certain times. So by knowing this, you'll be able to pinpoint what organ is active during the time that you keep waking up, and then decipher if it's a physical or emotional situation that is being processed and what to do about it. So if you're being woken up, it's because there's something to look at there, physical or emotional. So I share a whole list of the different times, physical, emotional, and what to do in Cosmic Dream Alchemy. But to not make this super long, I'm just going to give a brief example of a time that I find is often common, is waking up between 11 a.m. and 1 a.m. So that time block is considered the gallbladder time. And if you don't have gallbladder issues, or you're not really feeling like that's the situation, then it's also linked to resentment or possibly emotional disappointment. So that's how it works. All of these time blocks relate to an organ and a emotional relation to it as well. So comment below what time you wake up and I'll reply back. Instead of just listing them all now, just share in the comments and I will reply back to as many as possible. So notice that next time you wake up at certain times, I see the difference, or I notice the patterns after 2 times. The more you see it, obviously it's trying to get your attention, but just notice that and then comment below. I'll see you in the next one.